Alright, so does that sound good? Are you guys ready for the show? We're gonna love our next comedian. Give it up for Graham Stacy.
Hello everybody, my name is Graham Stacy. I got some cool news. I just graduated from college, so that's cool. Yeah, thank you. It was a clown college. Yeah, you guys may have heard of it. It's called USF. Got him. No, that's true. I'm actually glad I've graduated. So I'm an uncle. I have 4 siblings who are married, and they have 10 kids amongst them. Yeah, and I like being an uncle, but I don't like all the responsibilities that come with being an uncle. Like the responsibility to remember all of their names. Or the responsibility to remember which baby belongs to which sibling. And you feel like that would be easy, but like, there's only so many variations of white people. They're not that different. But my younger sister did something very helpful. She married an Indian guy, and I could tell that baby apart. I'm like, oh, the brown one? Pretty sure that's Baby Patel. Yeah, such a freebie. I remember when she was, last year when she was pregnant, she was asking us all for name suggestions. And I told her, I was like, well, something you gotta think about is that he's gonna have like a very Indian last name. And so growing up, he might experience prejudice where people don't even get to know him. They just see his name and they stereotype him. So I was like, well, maybe to kind of throw off the stereotypes, you should give him a very different kind of first name. Maybe you can name him something like DeMarcus Patel. That's a whole new type of person. I don't even know what stereotypes would apply. Anyway, a lot of people tell me that I give off a certain Mormon energy. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, and it's making me freaking mad. I don't know. If anything, I think Jehovah's Witness. What can you do with that? I had a weird interaction recently. So I was in Ybor, and I was headed out to a bar, and I was waiting to cross the street, and a group of 3 women walked up and they stood next to me, and one of the women, she looked at me, and she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you look like a Tom of Finland character. Have any of y'all heard of Tom of Finland? Okay, I hadn't heard of him either. So I was like, well, who's Tom of Finland? And she said, oh, he makes erotica. Yeah. Then they all walked away, and I was like, oh, I look like an erotica character? I consider myself somewhat of a master of sex. So I went to what she was talking about, so I Googled Tom of Finland, and it turns out that he makes gay erotica. That was not what I wanted to see. I looked at it, I was like, I don't see the similarity at all. This is what, you guys can look it up if you want to, and you can let me know if there's any people from research history later. And be like, what's going on here? No, it's true. This is kind of embarrassing, but, so I'm almost 28 years old, and I still don't understand the meaning of the term motherfucker. So like, I'll see people, like, they'll look at a guy and be like, oh, that guy's so tall, he's taller than a motherfucker. Or they'll be like, that guy's so short, he's shorter than a motherfucker. And I guess I'm confused, because like, when I went to school, I learned how to measure things in terms of yards and gallons. I never learned this motherfucking unit of measurement. Like, how big is a motherfucker? So, like, I'm 5'9" on a good day. Where does that put me on the motherfucking scale? Am I taller than a motherfucker? Yeah? Nobody knows. And I'll say it's awfully coincidental that people are only taller or short. Nobody's ever equivalent in size to a motherfucker. Nobody ever sees a guy and be like, that's the motherfucking height right there. That is him. And it's so flexible, because you can like go to a concert and be like, oh, this is such a loud concert. It's louder than a motherfucker. You can't do that with anything else. Nobody's like, that's an 18-inch loud concert. Anyway. I gotta disappear. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, coming to our showcase. I think it's really important to support independent artists, especially people from your own community. And so that's just why I always encourage people to buy locally produced pornography. I just feel like it's so much more meaningful when it involves people you know. Alrighty, good night, y'all.
Give it up for Graham Stacy, guys. Let them hear it.